Welcome, everyone. Noah here on the Dynamics Weekly newsletter and podcast. This is a series of podcasts about Dynamic Communities Community Summit, which is scheduled for October 19th through the 23rd in Orlando, Florida. Here it is, already starting into June. So this will be here in no time at all. So if you haven't registered, jump on their website, sign up, and you got registration for Summit itself and for the classes if you want to go to those before Summit even starts. We'll be talking with Academy class and session presenters leading up to the conference. And today we have Alex Meyer with us. Alex, how you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me, Noah.
So we just chatted a little bit, and you are up in some not the best of weather in Iowa right now.
No, we're getting a little bit of rain, but hopefully we've got some sunshine in the forecast.
Okay, well, we are nice and sunny down here in Pensacola, Florida. Vacation season has started. The beaches are full, and we are going to save this good weather for you when you come down in October.
I appreciate it.
So, how about we start off with a little bit about you? You are with Delinea.
Yeah. So I've been working with Delinea for a little bit over a year. I formerly worked for a company called FastPath, which was acquired by Delinea last April. And we do a lot of security audit and compliance reporting across the ERP space. So obviously the focus area for me has been in the Microsoft Dynamics and business application area, but we do all sorts of stuff with SAP, Oracle EBS, NetSuite, Intact, Salesforce, Workday, you name the business app, we probably integrate with it in some way and help customers with their user compliance across the board in their audit requirements.
Awesome. And you are going to be down here in Orlando for about a whole week. So you
Yep.
have a class on the Sunday before Summit on the 19th of October. So that's a whole day class for you. The name of it is D365 F&O Development and Administration Bootcamp, a one-day deep dive.
Yeah.
Get some highlights for us.
Yeah. So this is this session that, or an academy class that I actually did last year. I co-presented this with another Microsoft MVP, Peter Raymer of RSM. And him and I got some really great feedback from last year. And so we're doing it again this year. And so really the idea behind it is we want to be able to take somebody and make them feel more comfortable and experienced administering D365, right? Creating users, assigning the correct access, what that looks like. How do you manage that access across different environments? And from a development perspective, right, being able to understand what are my different options, right, when I need to go and actually, make a customization to the system, right, or I want to change functionality, or I want to hook into something Microsoft is doing and do my own customization from there, right? So, kind of showing the uh, process of starting from scratch and kind of working your way up in a 1 day 8 hour session to jam packed of different educational topics that we cover in labs that we're doing live. So really great opportunity if you're into the more technical side of D365 and want to see what your options are, how to better provide that functionality for your organization.
Do you do like the morning part of this and then switch over to the other guy in the afternoon, or you both just take turns throughout the whole day?
Yes, we kind of go back and forth a little bit. Some of us, we each have kind of our area of expertise that we kind of work in. But we also obviously have dealt, with a wide range of topics. So we kind of, my focus area is on some of the security, audit, and compliance functionality, right? Because that's my background from that side, and some of the more administrative topics as far as how do you manage that across systems. And Peter does a really great job of going in and doing a lot of the X++ development, chain of command, the customization side. And then I kind of come in and help with some of more of the DevOps, right? How do you create a compelling application lifecycle management story, ALM story, right, for your continuous integration, continuous deployment, or CI/CD operations.
So it's hands-on. You've got exercises for them that you'll guide them through.
Yep. Yep. So we have
Um,
labs set up for those.
okay. And are they using your environments for doing these exercises, or is there another environment they're using?
So yeah, one of the prereqs for this is that we tell you to come with your own development environment, right? We have a
Okay.
kind of an X++ starter package, right? That kind of you can install if you'd like to just kind of follow along, or if you want to start and kind of follow along with us, you can do that as well. Yeah, the only requirement really is that you have an FNO a development instance that you can connect to. And whether that's UDE environment locally or an RDP dev hosted or a cloud hosted environment that you want to connect to. That's really the only requirement there to kind of be able to follow along with us.
And this is the second time you've done this type of class for Summit?
Yeah, yeah, we did it once last year, had some really good feedback. People really liked it, and so we're doing it again this year.
Yep. So, have they given out any numbers yet, as far as how many people might be attending your sessions or your class here?
Not yet. From that perspective, it opened up a couple weeks ago, so it's pretty early again.
Yep.
And they're obviously still trying to get people signed up for the larger conference itself. So last year we had about 25 people in the class, and so we're obviously looking to be around that number again, or maybe even more.
Awesome. Okay, good deal. I'm sure that will fill up in no time at all. So that is the class on Sunday, October 19th, whole day session, 8 to 5 o'clock. They provide lunch for the attendees. And there are some stuff going on after 5 o'clock, I believe. If you're there, like stuff. I just talked to a BC person, and they're doing like a 45-minute session for new attendees for BC. They probably have the same type of deal for F&O stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I think they have a welcome reception that first night, like first time attendees, right? So yeah, if this is your first time going to Summit, absolutely, would recommend attending one of those to kind of start to get your feet wet with everything that's going on.
Yep. And you got two sessions, which they're going to release the scheduling, like the times, the days, and the room numbers in July probably. But the
Yep.
first one on my list is D365 F&O, security and licensing made easy. You want to talk about that one
Yeah.
just a little bit?
Yeah. So I put
I love
easy
the
in
easy
quotes.
part.
Yeah, right. Because security and licensing is never truly easy, but we can try to make it, a little make you again feel more comfortable, and at least understand kind of what's going on. This has kind of been a hotter topic recently with Microsoft's release of their license enforcement that they would like to do later this year, right, for F&O. And so
Mhm.
there's been a lot of chatter around, how do I take my organization and make sure I'm compliant from a licensing perspective because I don't want my users to, not be able to log into the app. And so really this is kind of showing you the basics of the security model itself, what functionality exists natively to help with your security. We'll touch on the new user security governance functionality, and then we'll dive into the licensing side, right, and look at what does that look like from a Power Platform Admin Center or PPAC perspective? What does it look like from LCS? What does it look like within the D365 application itself, right? And how can I, make sure that I'm compliant before November 1st when the feature goes live?
All right. And have you presented this topic before?
I've done this one for quite a few years, and it's changed over the years, right? Depending on what
Yeah, they
the
always change
licensing
it.
model and the features that Microsoft has, right? And so this is definitely a living, breathing session that changes based on what Microsoft has done. And so this is normally another one that's fairly well attended, and I have a feeling that with the license enforcement deadline coming up, that there will be a lot of interest for trying to see what's the most up-to-date information on that.
Okay. And this is listed as a breakout session, so it's about 60 minutes.
Yep.
Will you be presenting this just you or co-presenting?
Nope, this one is just me.
Okay. Good deal there. And then the next session on the list I saw was titled D365 F&O, Telemetry and Monitoring Deep Dive. So
Yeah.
deep dives are, oh, there's 60 minutes as well. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so this session is going to be looking at the new telemetry and monitoring feature. I say new. It's been around for a little bit, a little while now, but I would say that this is probably one of the features that I see being underutilized in this space. If you look across in like the BC space and look at the telemetry and that they have built into the app itself, I think it's much more mature than on the F&O side. But really looking at what telemetry data we have available, right? Whether you want to start looking at, what pages users are going to, error logging, looking at form metrics, right, to see how long are pages taking to load. Are there any slow SQL queries, things like that. And then also looking at custom telemetry events, right, where you can start to expand on what Microsoft offers and being able to capture, things like view auditing, right? I want to see anytime particular sales order is open, right, for things like that. So you can really start to, that's where I see a lot of potential, new features being developed, whether it's from an ISV or even, internally at an organization, right, to really use this to its full potential. So lots of really cool things that you can do with this data. And so this is really getting one, people aware that the feature exists, and two, kind of showing it off and showing what the potential of it could be.
And for anyone who is new to Summit or these conferences, the classes are typically with hands-on exercises that the instructors guide you through. These 60-minute breakout sessions, they're usually just presentations. I don't know of anywhere you have to bring a laptop and do some work during a 60-minute breakout session. I think these are all just presentations, some of
Yep.
it in PowerPoint, some of it in the applications. But you gain your knowledge from, listening to the instructor, asking questions, and a lot of them do have materials that they distribute probably after Summit.
Yep. Yeah, I try to make all of my presentation or all of my sessions are normally a combination of PowerPoint presentation and then live demo. And then I try to make all of my presentations available on my website afterwards for users to download.
And that is so recapping those, you got that class on the 19th, and then you got those two sessions coming up for you during Summit.
Mhm.
Will you and Delinea have a booth in the expo hall?
Yeah, so we're one of the sponsors, so we'll have a booth there as well. So if you would like to come by and talk about any of the classes or just want to come by and chat about security and licensing, I'm happy to do that. We'll have a booth there. So I'll be around in the expo hall as well.
Okay, good deal. Do you know what Delinea is handing out for trinkets this year?
Oh, we normally have a lot of a combination of stickers. We have socks. We have still have some old Fast Path koozies for those that have been to Summit before. They'll probably hand out. So yeah, we'll have quite a few options there.
Yep. So for people who are wanting to get in touch with you before or after your classes or your sessions,
Yep.
is LinkedIn the best way, the mobile app the best way? How should they contact you to schedule time to talk?
Yeah, you can absolutely feel free to reach out via LinkedIn. I'll once the conference app is up, right? I'll be on there as well. You can also reach out at alex.meyer@delinea.com. I'm happy to chat beforehand or after if you have any follow-up questions. So, number of different ways to reach me. I also have my online blog and YouTube channel that I post on. So quite a few ways to find me in on social sites.
And Alex, you've been to summits before. Did you go
Yep.
to Orlando before?
I have. So this will be the third time that I'm at Orlando for Summit. So
Okay.
um it'll be and it's at the Gaylord Hotel again, which is super nice. And it
Yes.
offers a lot of space for us. So it's awesome that it's going back there.
Yeah, it's a big complex, very resort leaning, a lot of great features in the first big atrium. When you walk through into the hotel, through the lobby registration area, you had the big atrium with all the streams and the bridges
Yep.
and everything. There's a big, I think it's a pirate ship all the way in the back.
Right.
And I love the part up front where they have the turtles and the alligators. So if you're new and you've never seen an alligator, here's your chance at the hotel.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
So have you fed the gators yet, Alex?
I haven't fed them, but I've definitely walked by and seen them. And so yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really cool complex.
And Orlando should be great weather for us at the end of hurricane season. So hoping for good things for that. Any other highlights I may have missed that you want to bring up before we wrap up the call today?
No, I'll make another plug for the Summit Conference in general. It's a great opportunity. There'll be, between 5 to 6,000, maybe even more people there. So it's a jam-packed week of learning and networking. So, if you're in the Microsoft Dynamics space and you're want to learn more, this is definitely a good opportunity to do that.
It is. It is a great conference, a lot of networking opportunities. You get to meet people in your industry, people who are using the same applications that you're using, who probably have already been through struggles that you're trying to overcome or fix at your office. So it's a great place to handle that kind of stuff and take that information back to your office and implement it.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to wrap up for the day. Alex, thanks for joining me today. It is always great to share with our audience news about upcoming events like Summit. To all of our listeners out there, if you get a chance, please try to meet and introduce yourself to Alex in person. It's always great to meet people in person and, associate them with a face. So hopefully we'll see all of you down in Orlando and we can all get a chance to feed the gators.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Noah.
No problem. Thank you, Alex.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.